Welcome to this deep dive. We've got a really interesting set of sources today. They're all focused on a new figure emerging called Aerolucha.
That's right. And what we have are excerpts from a story. It's titled Aerolucha, Wings of Justice. Think of it as our window into this character.
Right. So our mission here is basically to unpack her origins, understand who she is, and, what impact she's starting to have based on these texts.
Exactly. Let's dive in.
Okay, so the story introduces us first to Emilia Reyes. Before all this, she was actually a world-class gymnast. Amazing flips, precision, the whole package.
Yeah, really top of her game. But then, disaster strikes. A career-ending injury during the World Championship. It just completely changes her path.
A huge setback. So she retreats, goes back to her grandmother's hometown in Mexico, a place with deep roots, tradition.
And this is where things get, well, interesting. She stumbles upon this old lucha libre mask. It's mystical, apparently linked to a forgotten legend.
Halcón Divino, right? The divine hawk.
Yeah.
A bird-themed warrior.
That's the one. And the moment Emilia puts on this mask, it's transformative. A sudden surge of power. Aerolucha is basically born in that instant.
It's that classic trope, isn't it? The found object of power. So what does this mask actually do for her?
Well, the excerpts say it grants her enhanced agility and strength. But it's more than just muscles. She can, channel bird-like flight patterns through her gymnastics.
Flight patterns, so not actual flying, but...
More like incredibly acrobatic movements that mimic flight. Think impossible leaps, gliding motions. The sources mention wings of aura appearing when she fights.
Wings of aura. Okay, that sounds visually spectacular. They mention shimmering feathers on the costume, too, so she looks the part.
Definitely. And her fighting style is described as, a blur.
Yeah.
Super fast, graceful, but hitting hard. Criminals apparently call her the Feathered Phantom.
The Feathered Phantom. Because she's silent. Coming from above.
Seems like it, which ties into her first actions, right? The story says crime was rising in the cities, so she takes to the rooftops, watching, waiting, striking from above when needed, a guardian figure.
Okay, so she's established herself as a street-level protector, but then the stakes get higher, yeah.
They do. The narrative introduces this syndicate, El Humo Negro, the Black Smoke. Pretty sinister name.
And their goal is unsettling. They're abducting athletes.
Yes, specifically to exploit their physical abilities for, well, the story just says evil purposes. It's quite dark.
And this is where it gets personal for Emilia, for Aerolucha.
Exactly. She discovers her former gymnastics rival, someone she competed against, is actually one of the captured athletes.
Wow. Okay, so that changes everything. It's not just about random crime anymore.
Right. She has to intervene. The excerpts describe her infiltrating their underground base. It sounds like quite a scene.
They say she uses the arena, their turf, like her own stage, kicks, flips, using her unique skills against, well, lots of opponents.
It's portrayed as this mix of speed, incredible style, and something the text calls soul, inner strength, basically.
And does she succeed?
Oh, yeah. She manages to dismantle the whole operation, freeze the athletes. It's a major victory. Shows she can handle more than just petty thugs.
So this really elevates her status, doesn't it? From fandom vigilante to something more.
Absolutely. Her legend starts to spread. People tell stories, maybe even sing songs about her, according to the text.
And she starts giving back in a different way, too. Something about training young athletes.
Yes, teaching them gymnastics, but also courage. It's like she's passing on her spirit, not just her skills.
She becomes a symbol, then. The excerpts mention rebirth, resilience, rhythm.
All connecting back to her own journey, right? The recovery, the gymnastics background, the fluid fighting style. She embodies overcoming adversity.
And the ending of these excerpts leaves you with this kind of ongoing presence. The idea that whenever injustice happens, the wind shifts, feathers fall.
Signaling she's still out there. A constant force for justice in that world.
So to wrap up this deep dive, we've seen Emilia Reyes go from injured gymnast to the winged protector Aerolucha thanks to a mystical mask.
We looked at her unique powers, that blend of peak athleticism and something more mystical, and how she took on both street crime and a major syndicate.
Right. So, reflecting on all that, here's a thought for you, the listener. Aerolucha combines athleticism, mysticism, and this drive for social justice. Can you think of any real-world figures or movements that bring together seemingly disparate forces like that to push for positive change?
Something to chew on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.